The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
Another 90-degree day in the Arizona desert. Perfect for Cactus League action. We're now 2 weeks away from opening day at Petco. And we welcome you to Peoria Stadium, the scene for tonight's action, as the Padres host the Cincinnati Reds. And good evening, everyone. And along with Mark Sweeney, Dick Henberg, Mark Grant taking a couple of games off. He's always been great at pinch hitting. Padres awaken the bats. 22 hits yesterday in the win against the Dodgers.
Wow, that was a great sight to see. And offensively, I think the production is going to come from that outfield. Andy Green wants that responsibility put on the shoulders. And it starts with a leadoff guy. He has been leading off a lot. And John Jay has been fantastic. Not only getting the singles, but driving the ball as well. This is a productive veteran hitter, that top of the lineup. Matt Kemp last year was phenomenal, hitting 100 RBIs, having a great second half. He is continuing that in the spring training, ready for the poised for that beginning of the season. Melvin Upton Jr. made some great adjustments at the end of the year last year. Now he wants to produce at the beginning of the year as the left fielder, and you see the numbers for the spring. Very impressive.
Well, in the middleman, John Jay, red hot, 10 for the last 20. He was 4 for 4 yesterday.
Well, when you have production at the top of the order, it gives you that run production that these big boys can drive you in. And John Jay is a much-needed add, and he loves to compete in the batter's box and draw those walks and get those singles for the big boys.
Well, the 3 of the 5 starting rotation are set. That would be Tyson Ross, James Shields, who pitches tonight, and then Andrew Kashner coming up. A check of the Padres' potential 4 and 5 starters. Julie Alexandria has that report.
But James Shields knows how important it is to eat up innings.
That's one of the things I like about Mauer is he's got that competitive edge.
A couple of strikeouts for Colin Ray.
1-2 to Gonzalez, and he got him.
Welcome back to Peoria, everyone. Well, when it comes to the starting rotation, one thing is for certain, and that's the top 3 spots, and they belong to Tyson Ross and James Shields and Andrew Kashner. But the big question still remains as far as those last 2 spots. As Andy Green says, it's really a 4-man race that includes Colin Ray, Brandon Mauer, Robbie Erlin, and Drew Pomerantz. Now, he says that opportunities are drying up for guys to get in those extended innings, so it's really time to make those tough decisions and find out who fits where. Now, according to pitching coach Darren Balsley, he would prefer to make those decisions as soon as possible because he says he doesn't really want to skip guys and he wants to make sure that their arms are in tip-top shape come mid-season. So still a lot of questions remain when it comes to the starting rotation. Coming up here from Peoria, we've got the Padres versus Cincinnati.
Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco. What we feed them matters. By Harrah's, your first resort for fun. And by Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Beautiful night. Not a cloud in the sky again today here in the Valley of the Sun. 20th game of the spring for the San Diego Padres. And here's the Cincinnati Reds lineup that James Shields will face. Jose Peraza in center, then Ivan De Jesus Jr. Joey Votto with his lifetime 300 batting average hits third. Adam Duvall takes over at third base. Jay Bruce, their power hitting right fielder. Then Jordan Pacheco hits sixth. Yorman Rodriguez, the left fielder, seven. Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. And the pitcher, Cody Reed.
Well, look at James Shields, the 34-year-old right-hander, and what his scouting report is today is fastball location. All those veteran pitchers want to command the fastball, but for James Shields, it's the cutter, it's the two-seamer, and the four-seamer. So look for that tonight and just build up his stamina. This is his fourth start of the spring. His last start was in the minor leagues because it was an off day for the Padres.
So Shields, who was 13-7 a year ago, ready to go to work. And here's the defense behind him. Matt Kemp in right field with Jay in center and Melvin Upton Jr. in left field. Around the horn in the infield, Solarte Ramirez on the left side. There's Corey Spanchenberg at second. He was 3 for 4 yesterday against the Dodgers. And Will Myers at first base. There's Alexei Ramirez, the shortstop. Behind the plate is Christian Bethancourt handling the tosses of James Shields.
Well, it's going to be interesting tonight, Dick, because you look at Melvin Upton Jr. He is in left field, normal center fielder, but he's embracing this role. We're going to be watching that outfield tonight, especially with James Shields on the mound.
Well, the fact that Upton, normally a center fielder, willing to give left field a shot in order to be in that starting lineup. Padres hope that bat that once was one of the best in the entire baseball will come to life, and we are underway here in Peoria. And the first pitch is swung on, driven by Peraza deep. Jay drifts back into center and makes the catch. Peraza wasting no time to wield the first blow. Ivan De Jesus Jr. is next for the Cincinnati Reds, rebuilding team, especially in their pitching department. We'll see one of those young arms, Cody Reed, tonight. De Jesus, 8 for 32 on the spring. And, of course, his dad, long career, 15 years in the big leagues. Dodgers, Cubs, Phils, St. Louis, New York, and San Francisco, and Detroit.
Ivan started in the Dodger organization and was a top prospect as a middle infielder, shortstop, because of those bloodlines, and really has put himself in a position to be a nice utility player for the Cincinnati Reds.
Takes away 2-0. Well, here's the Iron Man in terms of big league pitchers. Since 2007, no one has thrown more innings than James Shields. Fouled at the plate, 2-1.
Well, you can see he's going to pitch with his fastball, also the good changeup and curveball to go along with it. As we take a look at Joey Votto, third in the MVP race last year. But for James Shields, commanding that fastball both down in the strike zone and putting guys away at the top of the strike zone to help his changeup and curveball.
They give De Jesus all of left center field. He hits it to right field, and that sends Kemp back. Looks up into the night and tucks it away for the second out. Had a little trouble picking it up, apparently.
Well, it's the purpose of having the night games, and quite frankly, you're battling the high skies during the day games down here in spring training, and now you have the night game, the different lights, different atmosphere, and that changes things up a little bit.
And here's the hitting machine named Joey Votto. 314 last year. And he sends it in the air out of play off to the left. 6 years ago, the National League MVP. A career average 9 years of .311. Man out of Toronto, Canada, Ontario, 32 years of age. And trying to beat the shift with the bunt. Fails, and 2 strikes to count.
Yeah, and you're probably going to see that a lot in spring training. So you see Ramirez running in for that bunt just to show him I'm over here. But with the shift, a lot of these power hitters, a lot of the guys in the middle of the order are going to start laying that bunt down. And why not do it in spring training? Because there's a lot of scouting reports going on in the back into the stands with all those scouts behind the stands.
Up on the handle of the bat with 2 strikes.
Yeah, Joey Votto's really spread out. You don't usually see this.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 and a 1-2-3 inning for James Shields. Padres coming up. John Jay will lead it off.
There's a lot to see.
The flags of the 15 teams atop the batter's eye that are competing here in the Cactus League as we check Andy Green starting lineup. This is going to be pretty close to the team that's going to start the opener against the Dodgers. Jay, Spangenberg, and Kemp. Myers in the cleanup spot. Solarte, the third baseman, hitting fifth. And the newly acquired shortstop, Alexei Ramirez. Melvin Upton in the 7-hole. Christian Bethancourt gets the start behind the plate tonight for Derek Norris, and James Shields on the mound against 22-year-old Cody Reed.
Now the 6'5" left-hander that throws three-quarter arm slot. They're raving about this young man. They got him out of the Kansas City Royals organization in the Johnny Cueto deal, but it's supposed to have one of the plus sliders.
John Jay leads it off and takes strike one. 93 on the first Reed fastball. Jay hitting .359 on the spring. Strike two as he pinches the outside corner with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That sets up that wicked slider. Let's see if Jay gets one here. Slaps it foul.
Well, if I'm throwing 95 and I'm dotting the outside corner, I'm going to attack, especially down here. And you can see John Jay fighting that one off. See if he sets him up with that inside fastball for the slider here.
There it is, strike three. A check of the Cincinnati defense with Rodriguez, Peraza, and Bruce from left to right in the outfield. Duvall, De Jesus, Pacheco, and Votto around the horn with Barnhart behind the plate for Cody Reed. He's from Horn Lake, Mississippi. Spangenberg. Boy, a strike machine thus far, Reed.
Yeah, working very quickly, too, which adds a little anxiety to the hitters.
But not broadcasters.
No, we love it.
We embrace a man who gets the ball and wants to throw it.
If we talk loud enough, I think he's going to hear us.
Roller to third. Duvall across in time to get the speedy Spangenberg for the second out. Brings up at Kemp. Reed, at the start of this 2016 season, is rated as Cincinnati's #2 prospect. Their #1, the young right-hander Robert Stevenson, has been sent back to the minor league camp. Brian Price, the manager, hitting safely in the last 4 games. He's got a couple of home runs this spring.
Coincides with the bench coach Mark McGuire, who came and add a little bit of conversation to Matt Kemp and some of the keys that he went over when he was a hitting coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's going to help Matt. It's another set of eyes on top of that when you go through those mini slumps during the season.
A ball and a strike to Kemp. That frustrating start last year with only one home run the first 2 months of the season, and then he pulled it all together, finishes with 100 RBIs, 23 homers.
Well, Dick, I'm not an excuse guy, but if you think about what has to happen mentally for Matt Kemp to leave the Los Angeles Dodgers, come down to San Diego, and start the season against those Los Angeles Dodgers up in L.A. Very difficult to take.
And it'll be the Dodgers that return the favor, open the Padres season at Petco 2 weeks from today. All-Star season, the Midsummer Classic at Petco. And he loses Kemp. Padres with the game's first base runner, and that'll bring up cleanup hitter Will Myers.
Well, we've seen Will Myers hit third during the lineup. Andy Green is trying to find that right mix, and I like where he's at here with Will Myers hitting behind Matt Kemp. If you think about the dynamics of creating a lineup, you have to have protection for one of your best hitters. How you do that is a healthy Will Myers and hitting well.
Unhealthy last year with that bad wrist, appearing in only 60 San Diego games. 94 backs him away. The Reds last year won 64 games as they went primarily the second half of the season to all rookie pitching starters. Padres won 10 more than Cincinnati at 74 and 86. 88 losses. Up the middle, and the flip for the out goes from De Jesus to Pacheco, and that's the Padres story in the first. No score.
For a limited time, you can get a
sunset as we welcome you back to the Peoria Complex. No score, top of the second. Adam Duvall and Jay Bruce and Jordan Pacheco to hit for Cincinnati. Duvall came over in the trade that sent Mike Leake to San Francisco at midseason a year ago. Reputation of home runs in the minors, hit 30 last year. Plus 5 when he was called up by the big club, so 35 total homers in 2015.
Well, Todd Frazier was traded to the Chicago White Sox. Why? Adam Duvall getting that opportunity and producing at the hot corner.
Yeah, that was a three-corner swap. San Francisco, Chicago, and Cincinnati.
Well, you see James Shields and working the outside part on the first pitch, and then the good two-seamer. Right there, almost looked like a changeup. Took a little bit off of that with a movement late in the strike zone.
Doesn't like the sign from Bethancourt. Now agrees. And pulled foul sharply.
Well, that's the changeup right there. And you can see just getting these hitters off balance. He gets a lot of swing and miss on that changeup, especially when he's spotting his fastball.
Duval is 27 out of Louisville, Kentucky. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Second strikeout for Shields.
Well, he took advantage of the youngster getting out of the strike zone, and you can see looked like another changeup, and the bottom drops out of that. But James Shields looks like he's in full command mechanically, but also trying to build up that intensity. That's the difficult part when you rely on that throughout the year, and you have that down in spring training here. Very difficult to try to conjure up yourself.
Here's the home run hitting Jay Bruce, and he bunts against the shift foul. Well, in a way, even though it's an easy base hit, if you can put the ball in play on that weakened left side with only one fielder, Ramirez, in a way, you're playing into the defensive strategy because you're taking a home run bat away and giving him a chance for a single.
Well, I think, Dick, you're going to see throughout baseball that there has to be change because there's too much frustration of hitting into outs for a lot of these big guys. See Jay Bruce and also Joey Votto trying it tonight earlier. You have to keep the opportunity out there to get those hits no matter what you're doing, and that's an easy way to get a hit.
Shift places Corey Spanchenberg in shallow right field. Solarte moves over to the second base spot from third with Myers guarding the line and only Ramirez on the left side. 3-1. Bruce just 29 and already with 208 career home runs. And ball four. Reds have their first base runner.
Well, if you take a look at James Shields and his delivery, watch his landing area. He creates deception with his motion. And you can see once that front foot lands, then the arm comes. And if you get that fastball location, you'll get some swing and misses, especially with that secondary stuff. And that's what he relies on, but that consistency that he brings to his delivery. Heard something interesting with John Smoltz and Max Scherzer the other day. Max Scherzer creates that deception with his stride, which I thought it was the first time I've ever heard that.
Jordan Pacheco, drafted by the Rockies 9 years ago as a catcher, didn't work out behind the plate, so now finding a spot defensively, and tonight operating at second base. Free agent pickup by Cincinnati.
Well, Dick, I want to go back to that, and the deception that Max Scherzer's talking about. His landing foot is almost across his body, but he creates that deception to the hitters, and it makes so much sense because if you don't pick up that release point because your body is closed in that position that we saw with James Shields doing it, it's very difficult to pick up that release point, and it causes some concern with the hitters. That's why they swing and miss so much.
Check swings. Foul, it's 2-1. Let me go back and review it, see if I've got it right. So Scherzer, when he lands on his left foot, he's landing in a closed stance versus Shields, whose foot is basically straight away or an open stance.
Well, and it could be modified how you handle where you are on the rubber as well. There's pitchers that'll move on the rubber. You can see James Shields is more on the first base side of the rubber, and they create different angles. But everyone has different deceptions with how their delivery works. And you look at James Shields and what's going on with this from the stretch. He keeps closed, and then there's the release point. And if you don't pick that up to the last second with velocity and change of speed, that's what gives the hitters some problems.
That basically landing spot was a bit closed, wasn't quite straight away. 2-2 to Pacheco. He's caught looking, strike three. The third punch out for the veteran Shields.
So many weapons for James Shields to go at, and you can see off the fastball, he throws the little cutting action fastball. The hitter gives up. He doesn't pick up the release point, and that's a very well located. But you can see where he lands. Very consistent in that drive with his legs. And not picking up that release point, it gives a lot of hitters problems, and that's why you get those takes with 2 strikes.
Brings up Yorman Rodriguez. He's 5 for 25 on the spring, the 23-year-old from Venezuela. AAA ball a year ago at 269 with some punch, 10 homers. They rave about this young man's arm, strongest arm of any outfielder in the organization. And yet he's placed in left field tonight because right field belongs to Jay Bruce. Not a bad arm out there either.
Yeah, and that helps too. You're not going to be running. You're not going to take extra bases on these guys, but a lot of young talent in the Cincinnati Reds organization.
Hit well to left center field. A long run for Jay, and he makes the catch. Great break on the contact off the bat, and Jay runs it down. We go to the bottom half of the second, no score.
This is
No score as we head to the bottom of the second, and I'm joined now in game by Doug Blockler, bullpen coach for the San Diego Padres, and you are no stranger to this team as you made your debut as a pitcher back in 1995.
Yeah, it sure was. Spent 5 years as a player getting to the major leagues, and 5 years as a coach getting to the major leagues, both for the San Diego Padres, so I'm pretty excited.
We've got some throwback video there of you doing your thing. Look at that. Nice form there. Now, this is your first time working with Andy Green, first-time manager. What's that been like for you?
It's been great. You know, he's a guy with tons of attention to detail, and you know, he expects a lot of his coaches, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to get these guys as good as they can possibly be and help them out in any way that we can.
Now, last week, you and I had a discussion about the state of the union, as it were, of the bullpen, and you said, and I quote, it's an open landscape of opportunity. Still the case a weekend?
I think so. I think we have a lot of guys that are still looking at possibility of making the club as a bullpen guy, and we have great competition here, and we also have the trickle-down effect from the starting rotation. We're not sure how that's going to play out. but we're excited to see the process happen and unfold relatively quickly, actually.
Yeah, how encouraging is that for you as the bullpen coach, knowing that you've got basically 4 or possibly even 5 guys vying for those last 2 spots in the rotation?
Right, yeah, it's obviously encouraging because you're looking at guys with quality stuff that do have the stuff to pitch out of the rotation, and with our numbers crunched in the top 3 that we have there, and obviously Colin Ray making a real strong statement now. I think the guys that are going to be trickling down are going to be quality arms. They're going to be definite major league guys, and it's going to shorten the game for us out of the bullpen.
Now, you have a very right-handed heavy bullpen as it stands right now. Has there been any discussion about adding some more lefties?
Well, we're obviously looking at mix, and if anybody's ever followed Andy Green, he's a guy that does like matchups, and he does play those. He goes into the game more prepared than anybody that I've ever been around. So, we're looking at obviously all possibilities when it comes from the left-handed front.
Now, I have to ask you about Matt Thornton, non-roster invitee here to spring training. When you work on your approach with him, how do you approach him? Do you let him do his thing, seeing as he's a veteran guy?
Absolutely. We let Matt do a lot of his own things. We basically ask for keys that we can help him with, and keys to look for in case he gets out of sync.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Julie.
Guys?
Thank you, Julie. Bockler working in tandem with Darren Balsley. He'll be in the bullpen, and they have to think as one, the 2 pitching coaches for the Padres.
Yeah, and he brings a different attitude, too, which I think is great. And he's been around Andy Green before in the Diamondbacks organization, so that chemistry is not going to take too long. But the chemistry, like you said, Dick, about Darren Balsley and Doug Bockler, that's created down here. It's already been discussed what we're going to work on and what we're going to work on with all these guys to be a consistent message.
This is Melvin Upton with the bases empty, 2 outs. Solardi popped to first, and Ramirez grounded out to second. Upton not really getting into form until midseason a year ago. A heel injury. Ball jumps off his bat.
Well, I tell you what about Doug Bockler a little bit. Just a background of him. Plus fastball, good changeup. He actually talked to Trevor Hoffman about that grip with the changeup. Obviously he didn't throw it for him, but he talked about the grip with that. So there's a lot of history involved as a teacher, which I think really comes into play. But his biggest trait was Doug Bockler was the guy that cut hair in the clubhouse.
They're valuable.
They're valuable guys.
And almost every team has one. The team barber.
He messed up my hair all the time.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. Had bad hair day every day.
Yeah, follicles all over the league. Pulled to third, fair ball. The long throw across by Duvall, and the inning comes to an end. An impressive 2 frames for Cody Reed. No score on to the 3rd. Phoenix. And a view of the spring workload. You have to add a minor league game. James Shields pitching the last time out. They didn't want to use him against an NL West team. They want to keep him away from those that we're going to be competing against. Cashner has been very effective. 9 innings with only 1 earned run.
Yeah, and simplifying his delivery for Andrew Cashner, who we will see tomorrow. But also Tyson Ross on the backfields yesterday, watched his start. 9 punch-outs in 5 innings, and he punched out 5 of the first 6 hitters. Looked very comfortable, worked with Austin Hedges on the backfields.
Catcher Tucker Barnhart, 3 for 23, a rough spring thus far. There's his record in half of the games a year ago. Ross will be the opening starter at Petco against the Dodgers, and Clayton Kershaw 2 weeks from today. 2-1. Foul back. Well, it's appropriate that we have the Cincinnati Reds under the lights in this game at Peoria tonight, for after all, it was Cincinnati that brought night baseball into the major leagues in 1935. Wow. The first big league team to do so. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Shields, his 4th of the night. Well, Pete Rose will be inducted into the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame this summer. Charlie Hustle, and we're going to be fortunate enough to be there because they'll be hosting the Padres the weekend of his induction. They'll retire his number 14, the man with the all-time hit total. While he has been barred from Cooperstown, there's no rule that says he can't go into his own team's Hall of Fame, and so it will be this summer. Well, with the All-Star game last year in Cincinnati, they did recognize the exploits in that uniform from Pete Rose and got a great ovation. Announced him at the end. And however you handle and what you think about Pete Rose's situations, the numbers speak volumes of what he did in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. Pitcher Cody Reed on 3 swings is out of there. 5 strikeouts through the order. The first time for James Shields. Well, he's racking up the strikeouts, and I think it's location and how he's finishing off of these hitters, and you can see abusing Cody Reed, the opposing pitcher. Minor leaguer that didn't have any at-bats and growing up into this major league position. Here's Jose Peraza, fly to center his first time, and a fastball strike at 89. Only 21 years of age. Another product from South American baseball rich country, Venezuela. 1-1. In retiring Rose's number, he joins an illustrious Cincinnati list. Oh, knocked down. Goalie stop off the foot of Shields and throws out Peraza. He looks as if that didn't bother him a bit. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd in Peoria.
Cox High Speed
score as we head to the bottom of the third, and I'm joined here in the dugout with Adam Rosales. New dad, I should say. Congratulations, Adam Rosales. Now, how old is he at this point?
He's about 2.5 weeks old, I believe now. He was born on the 9th, so his 21st, so about 2.5 weeks.
Born on the 9th. Your number's 9. Right. Your first baseball number.
That's right. It was my first baseball number 9. So it's pretty. He was born on the 9th too.
Now, Andy Green did make a point that he was very upset that you did not name your son Andy.
Well, we could talk to my wife about that because it was really up to her what we really wanted to name it. But we came up with a nice name. Adrian is really, we're proud to have him in our family.
Congratulations. Now, as far as spring training, you had told me that the first half is really so physical. The second half is so mental. So here we are halfway through. Where is your head at this point?
Yeah, you got to keep it even keeled. When you get here, spring training, everybody's excited. After a long off season, like, all right, just get back in the rhythm. But then, halfway through the season, it's like, all right, we got to get amped up, ready to get the momentum for the regular season. And where are we going to be? So you got to kind of keep an even keeled mind. And it's tough to get like 1-2 at bats a day, but you just got to be like I said, just even keeled.
And, of course, spring training being mostly for the pitchers and those guys to just get their legs under them, to get right. How do you keep it fresh? How do you keep your mind in it?
How to keep it you do a lot. I don't know. Keep it fresh. You got to keep it light, right? You got to enjoy the game. You got to go out every day with energy and just show up every day with something to work on. You really got to have you have to have intent every day.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Guys?
All right. Thank you, Julia. Thank you to Adam Rosales. As the Padres with a chance to get on the board here in the third inning. First hit of the game to Bethancourt, the line drive up the middle. Perfect sacrifice by James Shields, and that'll please Andy Green. A great emphasis on the bunt during this camp.
You think about the details that Andy Green, and we've discussed about that on our broadcasts. He actually sent Colin Ray and Tyson Ross over there, the backfield, to put the sacrifice bunts down, to get in those situations, because you have to execute, you have to help yourself. And James Shields right there, a perfect opportunity to help himself and get Bethancourt to second base.
The Speckleton, Cody Reed and Andy Green, managers eyeballing the action. Took a third strike, Jay, the first time up. Fouls that. 2-1.
Dick, Adam Rosales brought a baby and his wife into the world. Also, Jesse Agler, our partner last year, and his wife Tova brought in Jonah Agler. And congratulations to them, a baby boy.
All right. Their first child. What an exciting time.
Exciting time, and congratulations to both of them, and super excited to see the pictures.
The miracle of birth. Slap fouled off to the left. And Jay will use the entire field. A bunch of Whaler fans here.
Oh, look at the Whaler shirts. Those are the old school shirts. I love those.
The ice is melting here in Peoria.
Can't drop the puck here.
Outside, the count full. One out with Bethancourt perched at second. The Padres trying to jump in front. In there. And for the second time, Jay caught looking.
Well, you see Cody Reed dropping that slider on a 3-2 pitch. This is confidence, and that's the reason why a lot of the scouts are saying this is plus pitch. A lot of confidence with that, and a good breaker to put away John Jay.
See the strings that tighten his glasses, that almost a ponytail look from Reed. Yeah. Spangenberg takes in the dirt. Grounded to third his first time.
Well, you think about it from John Jay's perspective, and 2K's looking tonight, but also Corey Spangenberg facing those tough lefties. I know there's a few of them, and the NL West that you can talk about. Clayton Kershaw, Madison Bumgarner come to mind. They're going to have to take those tough at-bats against them, and if it's the top of the order, they're going to have to compete in the batter's box.
Works the count in his favor, 2-0. Infield squared away, the outfield pretty much the same. Two out. Bethancourt ready to scoot on a base hit. Challenges Spanshenberg at 92.
Well, like you said, Dick, with Bethancourt in scoring position with 2 outs, you have to really emphasize your secondary lead. If it's not a big lead, your secondary, when the pitch is being delivered, you have to have your momentum going towards third base.
Whether from the windup or the stretch, Reed wasting no time delivering. And a 2-2 count as catcher Barnhart out to visit with his pitcher. Matt Kemp would be next.
Well, earlier in the game, we talked about protection, and most likely with Matt Kemp, and who's going to hit fourth. That's going to be one of the things determined of who's hot, who's going to protect him. But for Corey Spangenberg in this position, that pitcher looks over to the on-deck circle, sees Matt Kemp there, and you're going to get better pitches to hit. That's what you're talking about when you hear that protection mode.
Caught looking, strike three. All three Reed strikeouts. Looking by the Padres.
During the Lexington
of the fourth, no score, and you think you're up to speed with San Diego sports? Join the Loose Cannons on Extra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego and find out weeknights this season on Fox Sports San Diego.
I hear they're going to be even looser this year.
Very loose cannons.
Top of the fourth. DeJesus, Votto, and Duvall for the Reds against James Shields, who's worked 3 hitless innings and sends in a strike. Fly ball to right. DeJesus, his first time up. Big breaking ball. You don't see many of those from Shields. 1-1.
Hey, you're not going to see him too many times down in Arizona here. They don't break as well down here in spring training, so you'll see a lot of guys just scrap that pitch. They still have to throw it.
Oh, and that one didn't break. A fastball into the side of DeJesus. Plucked by Shields, and he will lead it off at first base with Joey Votto coming up. Well, speaking of being hit by a pitch, as you see, that one gets him in the ribs.
Oof.
Former Padre Reimer Liriano yesterday against the Dodgers hit flush in the face. Had to cart him off, and the word was a serious injury. We haven't had any confirmation as to how serious.
Yeah, I was reading about that today. Multiple fractures. So all of us here in San Diego and the Padres organization have all their thoughts and prayers go out to Reimer.
Hit him flush right between the eyes. Votto struck out swinging the first time. Shift is on. And a line drive just foul.
Just saw Joey Votto take a swing, and he stayed in the batter's box like he didn't even see it close to the foul line. Saw last time as at bat when he struck out, he spread out a little bit. Looks like he's doing that. It's just trying to spread out. This is a guy that typically has that big leg kick. He controls his head so well, but it looks like he's spread out. Almost a two-strike approach.
Hits it high and deep. Jay, a long way to go, and runs out of room. A home run for Votto. And the Reds jump in front on their first hit of the game, 2-0.
Well, the location on the pitch, and we'll take a look at this. This isn't a two-strike approach. You see the small leg kick and the location of the pitch right down the middle of the plate. Joey Votto knows how to handle this, and you watch that little mini leg kick, almost modifying it from his other approach. Well, that's going to work. Perfect balance. Nice swing by Joey Votto.
Brings up Adam Duvall, who struck out swinging the first time. It's nice to see all of the Red Stockings going back to the original Cincinnati team. In fact, the first professional baseball team ever. I remember it well, 1869. They were the Cincinnati Red Stockings. Then there was a time in the Cold War era where they didn't want to be called the Reds. They changed to the Reds, and they went back to the Red Legs or Red Stockings.
Well, Dick, I had the privilege in 1999 to play in that organization. We had a successful year, but the history of the Cincinnati Reds is paramount right when you get over there. And we went to spring training from the clubhouse guys all the way up into the front office. What a great experience it was. I didn't play in the new ballpark. It was
Riverfront yet?
It was the Synergy Field, I think it was then, but
that was Riverfront. They gave it
exactly
commercial name.
But what a privilege, because you think of the history, and I got to talk to Joe Nuxall and have those conversations, and always the history of it, as Brian Price, the third-year manager of the Reds, understands that they have to get back to that spot because there is passionate fans in the Cincinnati area.
Full count now to Duvall.
They love their Reds. They love the history of what that team has brought to that city. It's a nice baseball town. I enjoyed my time there.
And they've added a Reds Hall of Fame, some 15,000 square feet of Cincinnati memorabilia, baseball artifacts. That one pulled deep, but hooking foul. We had the pleasure a couple of weeks ago going back to Cincinnati and speaking to a group at the Green Diamond Gallery. Bob Crotty's, much like Bob Breitbart in San Diego, began collecting baseball memorabilia and now has a 5,000 square foot facility, somewhat of a private membership. I was just overwhelmed by what he has collected.
That's incredible.
And a great group. Nice to speak to a group with a captive audience. They're all baseball fans, or they wouldn't be in the club. And it goes back to the love of the game that has been passed on generation to generation there in Cincinnati, the Queen City.
Now you see that front door cutter that James Shields has thrown. He got Pacheco to watched that for a called third strike, and he's looking at that, trying to get Duvall on that front door cutter. He's trying to create different angles and different looks. It's like he's going fastball away.
That ball drilled to left center, but Jay's there for the first down.
Well, we talked earlier about the outfield defense, and it's going to be a priority, and it's going to start with John Jay. Where he wants guys positioned. He's the quarterback out there, and you need a field general, and that's what the praise is coming out with John Jay, where the breaks are. Melvin Upton Jr. is going over to left field, embracing that, but you're getting coverage. John Jay is going to probably shade himself a little bit more to right field and try to create that atmosphere for Matt Kemp in right field to be a better defender, be positioned the right way. And that's going to be the defensive mindset for the San Diego Padres moving forward. You see them set up. John Jay on the right side of second base.
High in the air, but shallow. And Jay comes in to collect the second out. Jay, by the way, since 2010, when he made his major league debut, has the best fielding percentage of all qualifying major league center fielders. So he brings you steady play out there.
And Dick, you know what? You watch him, and it's not the blazing speed. It's the first read off the bat. The first step is very important as an outfielder, and John Jay is very good route runner when it comes to reading the ball off the bat, knowing where it's going to be.
One out to, or two outs now to Jordan Pacheco. Struck out looking, first time. But the Reds have broken the scoreless deadlock here in the fourth. De Jesus hit by a pitch, and then the home run by Votto, ground ball to third, and Solarte across to Myers for the final out. On one hit, the Reds lead 2-0. A 2-0 lead. The Padres will have Kemp, Myers, and Solarte scheduled here in the fourth as new coach Eddie Rodriguez joins us down in the dugout, and long-time baseball professional. He's been with many teams offering his services as a terrific coach. We're glad to have him aboard the Padres ship.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Mark.
Out of Miami, Florida, and born in Havana, Cuba, and certainly that's an appropriate lead into the fact that we're going to have the first baseball game down in Cuba in quite some time involving a Major League Baseball club tomorrow. What do you think about all this?
I think it's very exciting. I think it's good for the people to get to see Major League Baseball in Cuba, and it's been a long time waiting. I'm really excited to see the outcome and how it goes.
Tampa Bay providing the opposition. Shot to right, base hit. Kemp goes the other way. He continues his all-field hitting this spring.
Well, Eddie, when I first met you, it was 1991 with the California Angels then, and spending so much time in the game of baseball, and everyone knows that's been around you. You are the consummate teacher and professional, and especially attention to detail. Is that basically a good summation of how you are as a coach?
Absolutely. I've worked hard to try to do those things and acquire those skills and pass them on. I've always lived by the motto of somebody passed on the information to me, and I like to give it back and help others and contribute in every way I can and with all my teaching skills.
Eddie, I know you've done a lot with the infielders, you and Glenn Hoffman. How do you think spring training has gone for the work ethic and what guys have put in out there, and especially in the infield?
I think it's been an exciting camp. I think we've got a lot of work in and specialty work early in the morning and, throughout the day with individual players and giving them what they need, adding some things and simplifying others. And like I said, I think it's been a really productive camp. Our progression with the infielders is going accordingly as kind of we thought, and we're moving forward in that regard.
Will Myers being one of the projects at first base.
Absolutely. Will's making a transition to first base from the outfield, and there's a lot of minor details that he's learning, and he's doing a great job at it. He's one that's making great progression in that regard, and we're really happy with what we're seeing at this time.
There's no overemphasizing the positive attribute of having a coach who can speak Spanish, because there's an increasing number of Latin players in our game, and communication being so key, you play a prominent role in that regard.
Well, Dick, that's really what I think led me into coaching and gave me an opportunity to get to the coaching ranks is being bilingual and being able to help the Latin players with the many idiosyncrasies of baseball and on and off the field. And I really take pride in that, because I once was in that position coming from Cuba very young and having to learn the language, and I understand what it could do and how easy it is when you learn to be able to function.
When did your family leave Havana?
1966.
All right, just at the revolution, huh?
Yeah, just about that. I had an older brother here who came before us, and we were able to reunite at that time.
Long drive off the bat of Myers to the warning track and touch them all. Myers ties it up.
I'm sure he'll be real happy about that.
His first home run of the spring, and we're even at 2 as Myers hits home plate.
Well, Dick, answering back is the most important thing offensively for the Padres, and coming up a home run in the top half, you see Will Myers and the ability to take this pitch, the located pitch, down in the strike zone and drive this ball out of the opposite way. What a beautiful swing and a great finish by Will Myers.
Solarte steps in. He popped up the first time. Almost golfed that one out of here.
Yeah, and Eddie, that makes him a really good first baseman, doesn't it?
Absolutely. that helps in every way, defensively, and obviously with what he just did offensively. It makes it a lot easier to teach.
Eddie, when you touched on it, I thought you made a good point about being bilingual and also helping the Latin players. Alexi Ramirez, shortstop. You've seen him in the American League before when you've coached other organizations. Tell us a little bit about Alexi Ramirez.
Alexi's making good progress, learning our system here, and really, doing the things you need to do to adapt and adjust, and learning the new plays that Andy has and how Andy wants to run the infield. He's really, taking on to that. Seen him a long time in the American League. He's got some, the skills to be a leader on the infield, and I think he's going to take charge of that once we get rolling here, and he, feels a lot better, how things are going.
High pop-up back of the plate, and that's going to make it over the screen. Final question, Eddie. Javier Guerra was a key player acquired with Manny Margot from the Boston Red Sox in the Craig Kimbrell trade, and Guerra was performing this last week in the World Baseball classic elimination games, Colombia against Panama, everyone raving about Gary. He had 2 home runs and a triple. Now he'll return to camp. Did you get a chance to see him before he left?
I saw him at some workouts while he was here and with us at the minor league level. Very polished player, very mature for his age and what he wants to do on the field. You know, has that internal clock that he uses on ground balls. And like I said, very polished, very mature, very good-looking player. I've heard a lot about him also, and I'm excited to have him in our organization.
Thank you for the visit, Eddie.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a great
Eddie.
year.
And welcome.
Appreciate it.
So Solarte earning a walk.
You know, Dick, he said something interesting about Javi Guerra, and he said the internal clock. And I want to explain that. It's a sense when you play the middle infield and you know the runners. You know, Omar Vizquel, Ozzie Smith, they had the best internal clock that I've ever seen. They had the skills, obviously, to have the hands and to play that position. But if Javi Guerra at that young age is being talked about with that's how special this young man's going to be.
And he's only 20.
It's incredible.
Pitching coach Mark Riggins out to talk with Reed, who gives up a single to Kemp, the home run to Myers, both to the opposite field, and now the walk to Solarte. And here is Alexei Ramirez. Bullpen busy now for the Reds. Lane Thompson loosening that right arm. Ramirez grounded to second his first time. Reed's velocity dipping a bit. He was up to 95 in the first couple of innings.
Yeah, they're going to watch this too. A young arm and a prized arm. They're not going to rush him. A lot of people say that his ability could make the opening day roster, but most likely they're going to start him at AAA, get his feet wet. Don't start that clock too soon. This young man has a bright future. You can see it already.
And that ball drilled into the left field corner. Fair ball. Rattles around the corner. Solarte takes a turn at third. He's going to try to score. Here comes the relay to the plate. He's in there. And on to third goes Ramirez. Hits 3-2.
Well, Eddie Rodriguez talked about what Alexei Ramirez is going to bring defensively, but offensively, clutch hitting. And you're seeing this, driving this ball down the left field line against a young pitcher, and again taking the extra base. These are things that the Padres are going to have to do. The smart base running, getting those extra runs, and very important as Glenn Hoffman scores Solarte, Ramirez takes the extra base.
No one out. Melvin Upton with a chance to build the lead. Now 3-2. Infield comes in, try to cut off the run at the plate. Upton grounded to third his first time.
Very aggressive base running, and the third base coach of Glenn Hoffman, and you can see the reading those outfielders, taking that opportunity even with no outs.
2-0. All three balls have been struck smartly by the Padres. Kemp's single was a shot to right. Myers' long home run, and now Ramirez rips one into the left field corner. Grounded to third. Nice hands by Duvall. High on the throw, but in time for the out. Tough in between Haupt, handled by Duvall.
You watch Ramirez on third base, and don't be idle and just go back to the base. He's going to mess with that young third baseman, almost getting a high throw, and you see Votto taking that opportunity.
And that's going to be it for Cody Reed. Pitching change. We'll be back with the Padres leading 3-2.
There's a lot to say.
Samson, 26 years of age, former University of South Dakota star, and working in AA and AAA last year. There are his combined numbers. .212 batting average.
Now you see the high on the walks, 30 walks to 60 strikeouts. That's a little too much. So maybe the stuff is there, but inconsistency probably creeps in for the youngster.
23 appearances in relief last year at Pensacola AA and Louisville AAA. 6 feet tall and 190. 26 years of age, from Yankton, South Dakota.
He's a Yank.
Yeah, let's just see what he does. Toss up there as Bethancourt singled the first Padre hit in the third. A chance to pick up another run. And a good block by catcher Barnhart. 1 out. Ramirez at third. 3-run inning for the Padres.
Christian Bethancourt is really showing his offensive ability this spring, and he's brought a big bat, a power bat. But in this situation with the infield in, using the middle of the field is what you're looking for. Something elevated.
2-0.
I always want to recognize the process that goes through these young hitters' minds, especially in these situations. This is a great time to evaluate what they're looking for, staying in that strike zone.
Backs him off, 3-0. James Shields would be next. Bethancourt with 8 RBIs is tied with Jamal Weeks for the spring lead for San Diego. A chance to pick up number 9. Right down the middle. Duvall and De Jesus on the left side. Pacheco and Votto in tight. Hitter's delight. Ball 4. Might have been a bit of a pitch around there.
Well, you got the James Shields, the starting pitcher behind him. Why not? But Bethancourt on first base, and you can induce a double play if you choose that defensively.
Long look by Shields at Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach, flashing the signs. Shields with a perfect sacrifice bunt the first time. See if Andy Green puts on the squeeze.
Well, the middle infield's back in double play depth.
There it is, the square, and takes high, ball 1. Votto charging hard from first base.
Well, this is a situation too, Dick, that you can put the sacrifice bunt down. If it's a good bunt, then you have a veteran runner down at third base in Ramirez, that if it's a good bunt, he can score. But you're trying to get Bethancourt to second base.
Taken for ball 2. So 6 of the first 7 tosses from Samson have been out of the strike zone. Shields would like to see the hit sign.
Yes, he would.
He likes to swing the bat. He was 9 for 68 last year. A couple of RBIs. Put on the butcher boy, and there it is. It takes it, ball 3.
Yeah, that was hitterish right there by Shields. 2-0. Get excited. You start amping up as a hitter, taking that borderline pitch.
John Jay, the leadoff man, on deck. Barking out the strike, Anthony Johnson behind home plate. Blazer, Barrett, and Morales working the bases in this crew.
Not a bad time to get Bethancourt running in this situation. 3-1 count.
Line drive, base hit. Yeah, he can swing the stick. Ramirez jogs in. It's 4-2. Bethancourt moves to second. Shields with an RBI hit.
You know he's loving that. He deserves that too. He was in the sacrifice mode the first 2 pitches, then went to hitting, and that is nice, dropping the head of the bat on that baseball in the inside part of the corner.
Oh, that gives him some bragging rights in the clubhouse. He'll be crowing tomorrow.
Yes, he will. He should.
John Jay, glad to see Reed leave the game. Caught looking both times against him. Good breaking ball. 4-run inning for the Padres, who are trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this spring. Two strikes on Jay.
Now, Dick, you said a good point. He's probably excited that Cody Reed is out of the ball game, but I think that the type of hitter John Jay is, he liked that competition. Even though he had 2 strikeouts looking, seeing pitches out of a tough left-hander's hands can benefit your further at-bats down the road, especially late in this game.
Oop, right in the backside. And that loads them up. And the Padres have hit around here in the 4th inning as Spanshenberg comes up.
Well, the inconsistency in those numbers in AA and AAA, we're seeing it. The breaking ball just hits John Jay in the back of the leg.
He's among the leaders hit by a pitch every year. He's not afraid to take one for the club. And he picks his spots. You're going to get a off-speed pitch, and it's aimed at you. You don't need to dance out of the box. Good as a hit. Spanshenberg has grounded out and struck out. Bethancourt moves to third. Shields to second. Jay joins him at first. Still only 1 out. That'll be a souvenir down the left field side.
Well, Dick, tough year last year for the Cincinnati Reds, both injury-wise. They traded Johnny Cueto, Mike Leake, as we talked about, and then pitching a lot of young pitchers to end the year out. Ended the worst ERA in the whole National League.
The line on Cody Reed then is 3 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Brian Price, the former pitching coach with the Reds before name manager, following Dusty Baker. And Spanshenberg goes down swinging. Matt Kemp started the inning with a line single to right.
What's John Jay have for socks over there? That looks a little bit like an Ozzie Smith or Tony Gwynn on his sock. You see the picture down there? We're going to ask him later. I love that.
Maybe that is the look that's hidden under those pajama pants that they wear these days.
I have a picture of you, Dick, in my back pocket.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's inspiration.
Am I smiling? .88 on the strike to Kim, who can do some serious damage now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bethancourt, Shields, Jay ready to roll. Line drive, 1 hopper off the chest. Everyone's safe. Another run scores. Pacheco unable to come up with it cleanly, and it's 5-2 Padres.
Well, Matt Kemp slowing the game down. He looks very comfortable in the batter's box. Started this inning off with a laser line drive, and he sits back on this one. And you could see when you're letting that ball travel and you're tracking that baseball, you feel very comfortable in the batter's box. Even this ball is a tough attempt for the second baseman.
Waiting to see how the official score rules. Will Myers, long 2-run homer to right center last time up this inning. Five-run 4th inning for San Diego. And they rule Kemp's ball a base hit.
Yeah, I think it should be.
And an RBI goes with it. 2-0.
Dick, you know, when you look at Will Myers, this is the key for me. I think this offensively for the club, you need a Will Myers not only playing so he gets 500, 600 at bats, but this talent is off the charts. I think he's the key offensively for the Padres.
Chops that one foul. 2-1.
There's so many things, and it takes a team offense to be a good offense. But it really starts with the middle of the order. You think about the struggles the Padres have had in years past. The depth has not been there. The talent in the middle of the order has not been there consistently. See Solarte hitting in the 5th spot with the clutch hitting he had last year. And Will Myers is, to me, is the guy that you have to have perform at a high level.
Oh, he was on that one.
And that's not necessarily putting pressure on Will. I think you have to embrace that, especially with the position you put yourself in. Coming right at us. That's a great view.
When you follow him straight back, you're not missing by much.
No.
2 balls, 2 strikes, a Padre over every pillow, and 5 runs home here in the 4th inning. Line drive slicing to right, and it's a fair ball. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Rounding 3rd is Myers. Kemp scores as cleaning him up. What a night. What an inning for Will Myers. 5 RBIs in the frame. Oh, my.
Well, Dick, the location on this pitch, and you can see this is what's impressive. Middle in, but it's elevated. Easier to go the other way. Will Myers follows that home run to right center to a double down the right field line. And as you said, clearing the bases in a huge inning for the Padre offense. .22 hit attack yesterday, as we talked about in our open. And tonight they're looking very comfortable.
Myers winds up at 3rd. 5 RBI inning. I can't recall the last time I saw a Padre collect 5 in a single inning.
You see John Jay giving Matt Kemp that sign of sliding on the outside part, and a good slide by Matt Kemp. Well, for Brian Price, the 3rd-year manager, it's going to be a lot of patience because the inconsistencies, using younger pitchers at the big league level. That's what he went through last year, but this organization is in that training phase. But San Diego Padres, and they're having a good time over there, and they should.
Jay and Kemp, nice to see the big smiles in the Padre dugout. Oh, winning and hitting well is a wonderful thing. Solarte, high fly ball to left, and the shortstop able to drift out, and De Jesus puts it away. But the Padres rack up an 8-run 5th inning. Will Myers with a 2-run homer and a 3-run triple. 8-2 San Diego. start of spring training. The first couple of weeks couldn't buy a hit. His bat coming alive.
Well, how times can change, especially at the beginning. And you see yesterday's offense against the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had a spot starter, but it doesn't matter. You need confidence in this game. You see the runs, 12 runs, 22 hits. Runners in scoring position. We always talk about how important that is for the Padres.
Shields working with the lead now as we go to the 5th inning. Rodriguez, Barnhart, and the pitcher's spot. The Reds bullpen is busy. We're going to see a pinch hitter for Samson. Ooh, just missed. 2-1.
See Andy Green trying to script out the rest of the game and who's going to go in, what spots.
3-1.
I thought it was interesting yesterday. Spent some time in the minor league side watching Tyson Ross, Austin Hedges, but a lot of the theme and people talking about it, Andy Green is not only trying to change the culture here, but over in the minor leagues when there's a night game, he spends a lot of time over there. In everything that's being said and the messages being sent, being attentive to detail all around here. And it's from top to bottom, and that's changing the culture, not only at the big league level, but the minor leagues as well.
Full count now, Rodriguez. Well, it goes back to a basic principle of this game. Everyone's going to make a physical error. That's just part of the game. But when you make a mental error, that's not acceptable by the manager. I mean, you got to play focused baseball, not make basic mistakes that cost you runs.
And you want to think too, and I think when you talk to Andy Green, it jumps out at you that he wants guys out there to think the game. And we talk about John Jay in center field being the quarterback, being the field general, pulling guys over if he's moving pitch to pitch. Thinking about the game is very important, and that's detail oriented.
Loses the leadoff man, Shields. Second walk, also a hit batsman. Brings up Melvin Upton, or excuse me, brings up Tucker Barnhart. Wrong side of the scoreboard. Now, yesterday, the first two hitters in the lineup went 7 for 8. Jay and Spanshenberg. Norris had a double, 2 for 3, and Melvin Upton a pair of doubles.
Yeah, the top of the order was really where it produced, and then Travis Jankowski comes in to fill in for John Jay, and he hits a single. So the top of the order creating those problems, and we all know not having that leadoff hitter is a huge adjustment.
Ground ball could be 2. Ramirez can't make the play, and safe at first base is Barnhart. That's got to be an error. In his haste to turn 2, the veteran Ramirez unable to come up with the ball cleanly.
Well, it's a hot shot, and you can see he does not glove it. Then when he starts to pick it up, he thinks he has time to get that out at second base, then has to eat it.
Ray Chang is the pinch hitter for Cincinnati for the pitcher. So the Reds with a chance to nibble away at the Padres 8-2 lead here in the 5th inning on a walk and an error. Another ball hits the pitcher Shields. He's able to get the out. That's 2 times he's had to do the goalie save, and that one struck him lower extremities. That one hurt.
And this is the last thing you want to see too. Ball down and away, and you could see catching the back of his leg. This adds to the frustration because in the back of your mind it's like, get through these pitches, get through it. And it's good that they are smiling. Paul Navarro, the assistant trainer, out checking on him.
I don't want you to come out here again, he says to Navarro. Boy, this is a bullet right back. Ooh, he's able to, his follow through usually carries him to the first base side, so at least he's not being hit on the front side.
He has good smiles, which is a good thing, but he's taking his time. He's probably going to get to afford to throw a few pitches. I remember that one when he took in Arizona last year at the end of the year off the forearm. Continues to stay in the game. For James Shields, it's about competition, and thankful he is smiling going into this.
He might have told Andy Green, hey, you're not taking me out. I'm due to hit fourth in the bottom of the inning. Part of the big rally of 8 runs in the last frame. I'm good, he says.
You know, the thing that happens, too, is when you start laughing and you're okay, when you get back in the dugout, it's open season. And that's what happens, and I missed that part of it.
And it's not going to feel any better. That's going to be sore the rest of the night. Leadoff hitter, Jose Peraza. Second and third, 1 out. And we'll see if this impacts his throwing motion. And, of course, Darren Balsley will keep a keen eye on that. Hit by the line drive, one thing, but then you alter your motion and more serious things could happen. Throw to third. That's a play. You have to throw to third. Solarte slipping in behind Rodriguez.
Perfect place to do it right here, too. You're thinking about James Shields is going to try to throw a strike, putting a play on, and looking for the pickoff. But to your point, Dick, I think it's important for James Shields. He takes the ball off the back of the leg and then maintaining his mechanics and his stride foot.
Misses on the first 2 deliveries here to Peraza.
We touched on deception earlier in the game, and after he get hit on the back of the leg, maintaining that same position and the consistency that James Shields brings.
Infield back. Give up a run for an out. Peraza with De Jesus on deck. Shields doesn't like to give up the ball. 9 consecutive years with 200+ innings pitched.
It's a workhorse, and you got to have it. Sets a tone for the rotation.
Number 1 in the big leagues. And he falls behind 3-1. First base open.
Now 68 pitches for James Shields, right around 75. They'd like to get him.
Fouled straight back, and the count full.
Well, Dick, if you're looking at location, and we touched on mechanically, but also executing your pitches down here, locating your fastball. See the ball strike total tonight on 69 pitches for James Shields. But for James, when he gets intense and he's competing at a high level, if he flies open, that arm drags and he doesn't locate those pitches. As well as when he slows the game down, even with that intensity that he has internally, and he locates his pitches.
High chopper foul.
Again, he's grinding out. This is the time where you really have to build on your stamina. 70 pitches, and that changeup is elevated.
Leonel Campos would be next for the Padres. And the base is loaded with Reds. So on a couple of walks and an error, the Reds have a chance to come up with a big inning.
Well, one pitch away. Ivan De Jesus, not a plus runner. Good double play guy. He also likes to stay inside the baseball, so he's going to let that ball travel. He's got to execute a pitch. Let's see if they throw him in here to create that ground ball.
They threw into him last time and hit him. And that set up the 2-run homer by Joey Votto, who follows.
Well, that location is perfect. Now there's so many things you can do with that strike one. Throw that changeup, see if he expands the strike zone, and try to work down in the strike zone.
Change up, 1-1. Votto, 2-run shot to give the Reds the early lead in the 4th inning. Ramirez and Spangenberg pinch toward second in double play position. 1-2.
Oh, good breaking ball. First pitch fastball, change up for ball 1, and then a good breaking ball striking out of the strike zone.
Bases loaded. Reds without a base hit here in the 5th. Not by much.
Ivan DeJesus gives up on this pitch. It's that cutter just on the inside part.
And that one nicked him. So the runner will come home from third base, Rodriguez. So 2 walks, an error, and a hit batsman, and it's an 8-3 game. Shields thought he had him struck out a couple of times. Credit DeJesus with an RBI. And the dangerous Joey Votto comes up on one swing. He could make it a 1-run game. Shields departs. 4 good innings, but struggles with his control here in the 5th. Hit Votto's home run, but after being hit by the pinch hitter Ray Chang, wasn't the same. Meanwhile, he contributed to that 8-run 4th inning with a RBI single. Campos, signed by the Padres in 2010 as a undrafted free agent out of Venezuela. Last year in El Paso went 2-0 with a 2.90 ERA in 38 games of relief. Allowed only 30 hits in 49 2/3 innings.
Well, successful night for James Shields, and obviously frustrated not finishing off this inning. I thought he looked very comfortable, especially early in the game with his fastball command. At the end, when he tired, it looked like he threw a lot of secondary stuff just out of the strike zone.
The dangerous Votto with the bases loaded, 1 out. Fastball at 92. Last time up, Votto tied into 1 and sent it into the lawns in right center.
Modified leg kick, but the same approach, same swing. And if you're a fan of hitting and watching hitting, Joey Votto's the guy to watch.
At about 15 feet over the 410 sign.
You know, so many people criticize Joey Votto as taking walks in RBI situations. I just think it's a process that he has. If you watch him consistently, it's exactly what he brings. He has a plan at the plate, and he'll give up damage. I don't think he's going to have those eye-popping numbers, but the consistency in his approach and how he takes a swing, very impressive.
That's in there. Votto didn't think so. 1-2. Barnhart, Peraza, and De Jesus aboard for the Reds.
Sorry, Dick. Every hitter that you see that's consistent, it's a common theme. Their head is very still. And their vision, how they track a baseball, coupled with a really nice approach, good swing. You're a 300+ hitter in my mind.
High in the air into the left field corner. Upton has room. Tagging and coming home is Barnhart. And it's an 8-3, 8-4 game. Couple of runs without a hit for the Reds here in the 5th. Votto with his 3rd RBI tonight. Adam Duvall, 3rd baseman, batting cleanup, has struck out and lined up.
Good pitching by Campos. So I got into the 2-strike mode. This fastball actually beats Joey Votto a little bit, gets enough of it to put this in left field for a sacrifice fly. But Campos, nice job of pitching the top of the strike zone.
Peraza at second, De Jesus at first base with 2 outs now. Infield squared away, outfield pretty much straight up for Duvall. 8-4 now, the San Diego lead. Good block by Bethancourt, but the runners do advance. It kicked far enough away. And on the wild pitch, the Reds have 2 more men in scoring position, still without a hit.
Nothing Bethancourt could have done with that pitch. That's a spiked breaking ball. So you see him and maybe a tad late getting down to block that baseball. They're still continuing to work on his defense. But when you spike a breaking ball like that, very difficult to smother.
Ooh, right down the middle at 93. Campos recovering from Tommy John surgery. Didn't play in 2011, 2012. Came up, pitched 7 games for the Padres 2013 and 14.
Well, the stuff for Campos is there. You see the fastball, low 90s, good breaking ball. Really, to me, it's consistency for him, and also showing that confidence on the mound.
Couple of spots in the middle relief are open. Campos bidding for one of those. Goes to the breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, off that fastball, you can see just off the table. Watch how this pitch just drops. That'll make a lot of hitters silly with that type of break.
That swung on, ball in the dirt, the out at first, and that ends the inning. The Reds taking advantage of generous pitching by the Padres. Score 2 without a hit, leave 2. It's 8-4.
With on-demand
It's time for Padres Spring Training Baseball, and it's live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet.
Fans enjoying the cooling night air here in Arizona. J.J. Hoover in to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds. A terrific season a year ago. 8-2 record. Fine ERA out of the pen, and opponents batting only 196 against his offerings.
And Brian Price is going to put J.J. in the closer role to start the year. This is a guy that'll take the ball at any time and has the numbers to back it. He's never done that role. It's going to be interesting to see how he performs at that level.
Ramirez leads it off. Ramirez with the RBI double in the 8-run go-round last inning. Rounds that one to third. Duvall, Tavato, one away. Hoover last year set a Cincinnati record for a right-handed pitcher. From June 13th to August 19th, over 2 months, he pitched 23 consecutive scoreless innings.
Wow. Well, that'll give you that opportunity, and if anyone has followed the game of baseball, getting those last 3 outs, whether you believe it or not, is the most important thing for the mental side of a ball club. Listen, I got to watch Trevor Hoffman do his thing. We knew the game was over, and if it wasn't, it was a mistake. So having a closer, I believe, is very important for the morale of the club. Those games you're supposed to win, and you end up losing because your closer gives it up. Mentally, that just drags you down.
Those are the heartbreakers. Those are like not one loss, like a couple of losses. Got the game won, and you aren't able to come up with a save. 2 strikes now on Upton, 1-2.
And so many people talk about how you can use a platoon, and yes, that might work once in a while, but having that consistent guy that's in the back end of your bullpen that can get those last tough outs. Saw Craig Kimbrell last year, Houston Street the year before, Heath Bell, Trevor Hoffman, a history of great relievers in a Padre uniform.
Two now to Upton.
It's like Melvin Upton's shaking out the cobwebs with a 2-strike trying to battle. That was a changeup that was elevated. These guys are putting a lot of time on those backfields. You wonder how your body's responding late in the day. That's what spring training's for. A lot of people think it's too long. A lot of people think it's a need, especially getting the pitchers ready. Well, I believe the position players, especially the everyday guys, it takes time. They're coming in here trying to get those bodies right for 162 games.
Shortstop De Jesus bobbles, throws, not in time. Good speed by Melvin Upton, and he's aboard on the air by the shortstop.
Well, this ball has to be played, and you see Ivan De Jesus, the ball comes up on him a little bit. But then not having that arm strength to get Melvin Upton Jr. hustling down the line. So many times as a hitter, you see that ground ball, you're frustrated at it, you run harder because you're mad. Ivan De Jesus with the error, allowing the Padres with a base runner.
Bethancourt a single and a walk and scored one of the 8 runs in the 4th inning. Here's the line on James Shields. He went 4 1/3, 4 runs, 2 were earned, 1 hit, walked 2, hit 1, and struck out 5. So you eliminate the 1 error by shortstop Ramirez, and only 2 runs earned. Line drive over the head. Soft line drive. Pacheco unable to corral it. And Bethancourt has a perfect night, going 2 for 2 and a walk. And that'll bring up Jose Perella batting for the pitcher, Campos.
Well, as a base runner, that soft line drive, you have to take that stride and freeze, see it over the infielder's head. You're only advancing station to station, but Bethancourt proving his worth against the closer for the Reds.
Well, he can make contact. It's going to be a valuable acquisition from the Atlanta Braves. Here's Perella.
I was watching this young man take batting practice yesterday on the backfields. Had such a good approach, and why I talk about batting practice, because he had a plan of attack. Line drives all over the place. Simple approach, and was jumping off his bat.
On the spring, Perella's had 9 hits and 34 at bats. Chase is there, 1 and 2. Two on, 1 out, and down he goes. First strikeout, J.J. Hoover. So 2 away, top of the order. John Jay coming up. Jay, after striking out twice, hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th inning. And the veteran Matt Thornton getting ready in the Padre pen. 39 years of age. Had a pretty good season a year ago. He's got a chance to fill one of those spots in the bullpen.
Well, John Jay, coming from the St. Louis Cardinals, he has faced Hoover many times. Same division.
Ground ball, foul. Just missed the bag at first base.
Why I say that is there's a little bit of comfort when it comes into it. You don't know what the numbers are because we don't have those, but you see John Jay and where he is hitting in the order. You said, Dick, earlier, he'll take his walk. He'll have those 4-for-4 games that he had yesterday, but you can see that all those at bats, especially hitting leadoff, very important.
Well, the Padres were right-handed dominant in their lineup a year ago, so they've added some left-handed bats. Of course, Panchenberg came up during the season, left-handed hitter at second, and then to acquire John Jay, it's going to give Andy Green more flexibility. Another foul ball.
Well, with all the platoons that you see around baseball, too, you want that left-hander that competes against those tough lefties. And John Jay has that reputation. Last year, going through injuries, Andy Green's going to ask him to do a lot, take on those challenges against a Clayton Kershaw, a Madison Bumgarner.
Ground ball to DeJesus on the run, throws out Jay, and the Padres leave 2 in the 5th. We move on with San Diego leading by 4. Of left 5. The Reds 4 runs on 1 hit. An error and 3 men stranded. Some wholesale changes by Andy Green. Padres defense on all new outfield as Perella in left, Jankowski in center, Blash in right, Amarista goes in at short, Rosales at third base, and Davis from the minor league camp at first base as John Jay joins us down in Padre dugout. John, we got lots of good questions for you. One, we're going to go to the game in Havana tomorrow. You had a chance to be with a group of, what, 4 or 5 in December that visited Cuba, Goodwill Tour. You were able to go to your grandfather's home, correct?
Yeah, well, it was a great Goodwill tour that we got to go on with the Players Association, and for me, it was my first time back to my motherland, to the homeland. So it was great. I was able to find my grandfather's house in Matanzas, where they grew up. So it was nice to see where my roots come from, where my culture comes from.
John, what was that experience like? I mean, I know you guys spent a lot of time with kids doing a little clinic, but what was that experience like for you?
It was it's an experience that I thought would never happen. You know, it's something I dreamed of for a long time, and I was fortunate enough to get picked on to go on that tour. And like I said, I got to learn a lot about my culture, to see where where my family came from, where a lot of the culture that I grew up in was about, and my upbringing. So it was great to be able to go see where everything started for my family.
I had the pleasure of being able to visit there a year ago. There is no question of their great love for this game, the Cubans.
Definitely, baseball is a sport there that I feel like everybody plays and everyone grows to love. And growing up in Miami, where there's a lot of people from the Cuban community, that was the sport that we learned to love ourselves.
John, you're looking forward to seeing this game tomorrow and the performance of the Tampa Bay Rays going there, playing an exhibition game. What's your emotions with that?
Well, I think it's great for the people in Cuba, for them to be able to see Major League players right in front of them. I think it's going to be a great experience, and I know the stadium's going to be packed, and the people are very excited for it there. And hopefully there'll be something positive for them there, and something they can look forward to.
Are they going to play in the big stadium, the Industriales Stadium?
Yeah, Latino Americano. That's where we got to put on a clinic this offseason when I got to go. It's a beautiful park with so much history in it, and it's one of those trips that the guys from the Rays won't ever forget.
John, there's so many things that I want to talk to you about, because there's the impact that you've already had on this roster. But I'm going to go in-game already tonight. You got on first base with hit by pitch, and you took your guard off, but we saw something on your sock, and it looked like a Tony Gwynn thing to me. Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, there's some Tony Gwynn socks I like to wear for the games. Tony was a player that I always admired. I always grew up watching the way he could hit that 6-hole whenever he wanted to hit a line drive to left field. It's something that I tried to mark my game over, and coincidentally, I wore 19 in St. Louis for many years, and it's obviously retired for the great legend Tony Gwynn, and I'm happy to be able to wear the socks now.
Oh, that's the right attitude. And how about your replacement in center field? Jankowski goes to the wall and spears a potential extra base hit off the bat of Jay Bruce.
Yeah, he's a great player. We got to work a lot, and he's a great young player. He's obviously got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and he's been doing the work that's necessary to be consistent on the big league level. So he's going to have an exciting future ahead of him.
John, I want to touch on this because this is your first time coming from a St. Louis Cardinals organization over to a new organization. And how do you blend that? Because I know you've learned the right way to play the game, and you've had influences in your career. How do you blend that early when you first come over here for Travis Jankowski?
Well, I just try to do what was done for me. I was lucky to play with a lot of great players in St. Louis, and I'm just trying to be myself, but at the same time pass along some of the information that I got to learn there. I got to learn the game from Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina and Rafael Furcal, a lot of really great players, and playing, starting off with Tony La Russa. So just trying to bring some of the things I learned here, and just day by day getting to learn my teammates. But it's been great so far.
Now we see an example of how this baseball game is hard to figure. Bruce hits one almost out of here and robbed of a hit by Jankowski. Then Pacheco hits a little bouncer over the mound, and he's the one who gets the base hit. You learn that lesson early, don't you?
Yeah, it evens out. You just got to trust the process, and for all those hard hit balls, you're going to get a couple broken bats that are, you're going to lose some bats, but they're going to die warriors. They're going to be hits.
It's almost as if you foresaw the swing by Rodriguez, broken bat roller, and he has an infield hit. Well, John, I know you'll be keeping your eyes and ears on what happens tomorrow in Havana. We certainly welcome you to the Padre organization. We're pleased to have you.
Well, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, John Jay. Articulate guy, went to the University of Miami, which was his dream.
Well, I think he's going to have a huge impact on this roster, not only defensively, offensively, being that leadoff hitter, but in the clubhouse.
Tyler Barnhart, the catcher, is struck out and safe on an error and takes a strike from Matt Thornton, who should be out of the inning. A couple of scratch singles, and the Reds have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, I talked to Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, today about Matt Thornton, and a low 90s fastball, curveball, slider, cutter, and also a split finger, which I think is going to be a nice mix coming out of this bullpen. A non-roster guy that really, to me, should have been on a major league deal. For some club, and for the fortunes of the San Diego Padres, they get this young man. He's going to be an influence and an impact guy in this bullpen.
39 years of age with a rubber arm. Last year with the Washington Nationals, pitched in 60 games, had a 2.18 ERA. It's the 10th straight year that he's appeared in 60 games or more.
Well, workhorse, and you need that, especially from the left side with the Padres. You need to have some left-handers in the bullpen that are going to be successful against the Adrian Gonzalez's of this division. You're going to have those big outs coming out of the bullpen.
That's why last year they had to trade for Mark Zepchinski, who worked lefty to lefty. High fly ball. In comes Jankowski to squeeze the second out, and runners hold.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Pitch hitter now in the pitcher's spot. Well, oh no, they're not going to hit for Hoover. They want him to get another innings work, so he gets to bat.
Now, this is interesting because we discussed he's going to be the closer. Most closers aren't going to go 2 innings, but they're going to extend JJ.
Most closers don't get a time at bat.
Well, if you think about it, Aroldis Chapman went to the Yankees, the closer last year for the Reds. So we're going to have to find somebody.
2 quick strikes on Hoover.
Maybe he just likes to hit.
Yeah, let's just say career hitting. No at-bats, no hits, but he scored a run somehow. And he's caught looking, strike 3, and the 2 infield hits. No result positively for the Reds. It stays 8-4. To you by Sequan Casino. Play, win, together in the heart of San Diego. And by Petco, what we feed them matters. Boy, majestic Swallow signature cactus. And include that on the license plate.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like statues when you drive in from Gila Bend into Phoenix area.
I love when you turn into Gila Bend.
Oh, yeah. You know you're getting close.
Getting close.
That's where all those particular varieties of cactus exist. Corey Spangenberg, the only Padre starter still in the lineup along with catcher Christian Bethancourt. They want to give him this at bat. Undoubtedly he'll leave the game after he's grounded out and struck out twice. 8 runs, 8 hits for the Padres. They got 6 of those and all 8 runs in the 4th inning. And the big run producer tonight, Will Myers, 2 for 3, a 2-run homer and a 3-run triple. How often does a player get 5 RBIs in an inning?
Well, it was good for him, too, because mentally that just gets him settled. You know what an impact a big game can do in the spring training games.
Watch out. That's a wicked line drive into the second tier.
You know, I always can't stand those discussions. Well, save them for the season. Save those opportunities.
Yeah, right.
No. When you hit, you're learning what to do in the process of what you're trying to do. You want results. You want to see that. And you want to feel it as well. And Will Myers tonight has to feel really good.
Rough night for Spangenberg, the 3rd time he's punched out. 1 out here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Jabari Blash. Almost a complete new lineup defensively on the field now for the Reds. We'll catch up for you. Center field, Jake Cave, and in right field, Tyler Holt. Beamer Weems at shortstop. There's a familiar name. Used to be with the Padres. Zach Vincek at second base. Seth Mejias at first base. Two and one now to the power hitting Jabari Blash.
Oh, it's a nice challenge for Jabari Blash coming off the bench, playing defense first, but now getting us his first at bat against Hoover.
Oh, that is sky high back of home plate. Will it go into the crowd? No. Catch made by Barnhart. That piercing the night air.
Padres 2016 Fan Fest presented by T-Mobile is happening both April 1st and 2nd at Petco Park in conjunction with exhibition games against the Chicago White Sox. Fan Fest is fun for the whole family and it's free of charge for all fans. Tickets to the exhibition games are free for Padre members and $10 for the general public. More information can be found at padres.com/fanfest.
It's a very low price. I think it's $10. This is Marcus Davis flipping one down the line in left field, and he has himself a single. That'll be a thrill for this young man. Brought over from the minor league camp as a reward, and in the lineup as a reserve at first base, and loops a single.
It's a line drive in the box score tomorrow, but that's got to feel good. Dumping that into left field, no man's land behind the third baseman.
And that brings Adam Rosales to the plate for the first time. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, you see J.J. Hoover going with that slide step. Both pitches will mess up the timing just a little bit if you haven't faced him too much. It's a power fastball, but when you're doing it with the slide step, just quickens the hitter up just a little bit.
Well, maybe Andy Green and the Padres wanted Marcus Davis to come over because they're playing the Reds, and he grew up in Cincinnati, went to Princeton High School there in the Queen City.
I love those stories. Why not?
College Bowl at Florida State. Was at Lake Elsinore last year. Hit 255. 7 home runs. So good on you, Marcus Alexander Davis. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Rosales. Oh, what was wrong with that? A little low. And the count full. That'll send Davis off with a pitch.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. Well, now you've seen that slide step. You got to eliminate a lot of the movement that you have in your setup, especially with 2 strikes.
Ground ball right at the second baseman. And that'll end the inning. We've completed 6 in Peoria, Arizona. The Padres lead by 4.
There's a lot to see at Nissan now.
And here I am with Matt Thornton. Welcome. Now, you started your career, your major league debut with the Mariners against the Padres. Full circle, here we are, spring training with the team.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's been a lot of fun for me.
Now, as a veteran guy, you entered this spring training a little differently, you told me, than ever before on a minor league deal. How has that changed your approach here?
It's been the same approach for me, honestly. I continue to get my work in and prepare myself for April 4th, the opening day.
Now, as a guy who's used to spring training, you see the culture that Andy Green has tried to create here and continuously does. What has struck you about the spring training that he's created here?
Just the attitude he's looking for. You know, hard work every day, dedication, focus on the little things, and continue to get better every day.
Bullpen coach Doug Boxler told me that he kind of lets you do your thing. I know you've got that 4-seam fastball, and you're also working on your split. What sort of conversations have you guys had?
Pretty simple so far. You know, they have so many guys they have to watch right now, and I think they trust me a little bit based on my experience and stuff. So it's been a little easier so far for me on the coaching standpoint, but I'm sure they'll get on me about a few things as we move along here for sure.
Now, fans who may not be familiar with you, what are some things that you can tell us about yourself?
Pretty simple, really. I enjoy golf and the occasional cold one after the game. So other than that, I'm pretty boring and pretty simple.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Guys?
Occasional golf and occasional cold one.
Nothing wrong with the sarsaparilla once in a while.
Iced tea's good. Yeah.
Well, we welcome Matt Thornton. He's going to be great for the bullpen, and you know, that added piece. We talked about the left-hander. but just the added piece of being down there and developing that chemistry, which I think is going to be a huge key for that bullpen.
Fernando Rodney, the veteran right-hand reliever, comes in and walks the first man that he faces. Cave aboard. Now the whole lineup juggled as Brian Price has made many changes. Holt now batting in the second spot. That home plate jumping on Rodney, 5 straight balls.
Well, that's the propensity of Fernando Rodney, and it'll be frustrating at times, especially the fastball command. Has a plus changeup that will embarrass hitters, but getting to that changeup is so important.
Runner goes. Throw by Eric Kratz is not in time. Kratz taking over for Bethancourt behind the plate, the veteran catcher.
Well, a perfect time to steal a base is when you have to throw a strike and you're struggling. You're going to take your time a little bit, and the runner takes advantage of that. Head for a slide into second base.
He almost came up short. Two and one.
Oh, and Fernando's right. You're going to see the low to mid 90s fastball. We're seeing the low 90s right now. So he's working his way into getting to that strength area. But if you're commanding the fastball, then you can go to that wipeout changeup.
Top of the 7th here in Peoria. The Reds trailing the Padres by 4, and Fernando Rodney having trouble throwing strikes. Only 1 strike out of 8 pitches so far.
Pretty nice play by Eric Kratz right there. Don't take it for granted when you're set up on the outside part of the plate. He's set up on the outside part. This ball just takes off on Rodney. That's a nice play by Kratz. You'll see that a lot in the minor league baseball, where guys are just not locating pitches, and it's velocity all the way throughout the minor leagues. But up here, typically that command has to be there when you're in the big leagues.
And that's way up and away inside. 1 strike and 9 pitches, a couple of walks to lead off the Reds' 7th inning from Rodney. You got to go back to the radar, and Darren Balsley's going to help focus here as he goes out to the mound. And the 30-second clock is on.
He's on the clock.
New rule: as soon as the manager or pitching coach leaves the dugout, the clock starts. And the plate umpire will watch, and when it hits the 10 mark, he'll chase him off the field. Doesn't need to hurry Balsley along. He leaves. Sometimes it's just a little tip, shoulder, stride. That brings up Seth Mejia-Sabreen. And immediate result as Balsley coaxes a strike to start this sequence.
Well, you can see the slide step. It's actually just putting his gliding his front foot to that stride length. It looked like a quicker arm right there, and a nice strike.
Misses with that, 1-1. Reds with only 3 hits tonight. The 2-run homer by Votto and a couple of scratch singles. Infield hits by Pacheco and Rodriguez in the 6th inning. Line drive, base hit. Up with it in a hurry, Perella, and the throw comes in. Everyone moves up 90, and the bases are full of Reds. With no one out, 2 walks and a single. And that brings up Taylor Sparks.
Well, Mejia-Sabreen was just looking for that dead red fastball and got an elevated one.
Single A player Taylor Sparks, a youngster. Inside corner.
Yeah, nice frame job by Eric Kratz taking over. You wonder how many times they've worked together, even in bullpen sessions.
Rodney, 7 years in Detroit, the Angels a couple of years, Tampa Bay 2, Seattle 2, White Sox 14 games last year. I mean, he's just 2 years away, actually 3 years from an all-star year, 48 saves with Tampa Bay in 2012.
Now really trying to get Fernando Rodney back in that same frame of mind. As we talked about when J.J. Hoover came into the game. Getting those last 3 outs isn't the easiest thing, and that changeup, devastating.
Strikes out Sparks for the first out.
Right off that same plane as that second strike on the fastball, the downward fastball, and then the good changeup. Watch the break on this.
Whew. Tough to read that out of the hand, isn't it? That reminds you of Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah. I have nightmares over that.
Zach Vince with 1 out, bases full. Pours in the fastball at 94. 39-year-old arm. He can still get it up there. 700 career games in 14 years for Rodney. 236 saves. That'll be his role this year with the Padres. Nub foul. Now last year in off season in Seattle, he was 5-5 with a 5.68 ERA. It gave up 8 home runs in 50+ innings. Went to the Cubs late in the year as the Cubs looked for an extra arm on their way to the playoffs. He was 2-0 with them. 12 innings allowed, only 8 hits and 4 runs. So he got his game back together.
Well, let's be honest. Everything went wrong for the Seattle Mariners, and Fernando Rodney was part of that. But he went over to Chicago, got with Joe Maddon again that he had in Tampa Bay. And sometimes that can just spur you on to get back to that confidence level. And the way you use Fernando Rodney, well, he may have learned a lot about himself last year, and that could propel him into another great year. Pitched in winter ball, did very well down there.
Misses inside, and it's 2-2.
Oh, he's going to get that first opportunity to close out games. If he gets on a good stretch early in April, that could be all he needs to have a very successful year, because the velocity is still there.
Fill the void left with a Craig Kimbrell trade to Boston, and of course his arm will be missed. Swing and a miss. Another changeup, and he strikes out 2. Base is still full, and Beamer Weems comes up.
Well, arm speed on the changeup. That'll get them to swing over the top of it and can get you out of some tough situations like this one.
When he was with the Padres organization, love the name Beamer Weems. Sounds like he's from a sitcom, you know, the teenage kid in the sitcom.
He's beaming. He's beaming. Why wouldn't you? Playing in a major league game and have a sweet uni on. We're in 1-9.
Yeah, he's wearing
Mr. Padres number.
One and one, so trying to dig his way out of his self-induced trouble. 2 walks and a single to load the bases, but then a couple of strikeouts. And he jumps in front of Weems.
Beamer's wondering what he's going to throw now. Is it going to be that velocity fastball down and in, or is he going to throw that changeup?
Ground ball, 2-hopper to second, and the inning comes to an end. No damage done. The Reds leave the bases loaded. We're at the stretch half of the 7th in Peoria.
This is our
Got the Reds on the board first with this 2-run home run. And then the Padres answered with an 8-run fourth inning. Myers started it with a 2-run shot to tie. But the Padres wouldn't quit there. Ramirez drives home Solarte, and the Padres had the lead 3-2. Shields chips in with an RBI single, 4-2. Kemp with an infield hit, 5-2. And then Myers comes up for the second time in the inning and drills one into the right field corner to clean the bases. A 3-run triple, a 5-run RBI inning for Will Myers. Oh my, time indeed for the Harrah's game summary. Wonder who's going to be the player of the game tonight.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
Kivas Sampson, a former Padre, comes in to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alexi Amarista leads it off for San Diego. High fly ball to left field. And one away. Brad Zuniga, one of the minor leaguers called up, is going to hit here. And Ramon Cabrera has moved in as the catcher for the Reds. Another ball skied high into shallow right. Vince puts it away for the second out. 2 quick outs for Kivas.
Hey, when you come up here and you're one of the guys for the minor leagues, you got to get after it. First pitch swinging.
He had a terrific minor league season in the Padre organization. 2015, he was 12-3 at Fort Wayne and a 2.90 ERA. Struck out 143 in 118 innings, but the Padres unable to protect him, and the Reds picked him up. And last year, major league debut, as you saw, worked in 13 games, 12 starts, and went 2-6.
Well, everyone had a start if you could throw last year for the Reds. They used all rookies since mid-July all the way on. Rookies started every single game. Think how hard that is. But for Kivas, it was a lot of inconsistencies in a Padre uniform. Didn't have that consistent command.
Pratt's the hitter for the first time, batting in the 8th spot. Christian Bethancourt certainly held the lineup up with a couple of singles and a walk.
Well, for Kivas Sampson, you know that he has that fastball. Good breaking ball off of that. See if he goes to that for the strike 2 pitch. Looks like a high fastball.
6'2" and a solid 225 is Sampson from Ocala, Florida. 4th round pick of the Padres back in 2009. He's now 25. Breaking ball gets Kratz swinging in a solid inning. 1-2-3. Sampson retires the Padres. 7 in the books. 8-4 for the home side.
During the Lexus Command.
Play of the game. Travis Jankowski going to the wall to backhand that play. Solid defense in center field. At robbing Jay Bruce of extra bases. Our Bill Howe play of the game by young Travis Jankowski. Pride and joy of Stony Brook University. Made it to the NCAA basketball playoffs this year.
Well, Daniel McCutchen takes over, and you can see the AAA numbers last year. Talking to Darren Balsley about Daniel, he says he loves to pitch, just has that competitive nature that he just falls in love with. 4 pitches, 4-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup.
McCutchen grew up in Norman, Oklahoma, location of the University of Oklahoma, and then he matriculated there with the Sooners. High school, he played football, running back, and cornerback. He's got the size for it, 6'2", 217.
He looks like a linebacker. Broad shoulders.
Drafted by the Yankees 10 years ago in the 13th round. Yorman Rodriguez, the only starter still in the lineup for Cincinnati. He has a walk, scored a run, infield hit, and a fly ball to center. One ball, 2 strikes. Last year at El Paso, McCutchen was 9-8 as a starter. 22 starts, also served in relief 10 games. High chopper, going to be tough. Amarista can't make the play. Do or die, and had to try to backhand the short hop. Couldn't come up with it, and Rodriguez has his second infield hit.
Yeah, interesting. You watch Alexi Amarista, and he plays this on the backhand. You see a lot of shortstops will get to that glove side, almost round it just a little bit, take it on the short side of it. But Alexi tries to backhand that baseball, which makes it a very difficult play.
Brings up catcher Ramon Cabrera. Came up for a cup of coffee in September and delivered some good hitting. Bryson Smith is in the on-deck circle, is going to hit for the pitcher. Ramon Cabrera, 26 years of age, from Caracas, Venezuela. Played in 13 games in September, 11 hits and 30 at-bats for that. 367 average.
He's hitterish.
Recent. And McCutchen catches him looking at a pitch on the inside corner.
Oh, what a great two-seamer by McCutchen. The location on this pitch, Kratz just sticking the pitch on that inside part. A movement that looks like a ball out of the hands of McCutchen, right on that inside part of the plate.
Bryson Smith, one of the minor leaguers called up for this game, hitting in the pitcher spot.
Now, Dick, we talked about deception at the beginning of the game with your stride and what you do with your body. But McCutchen, his deception is that quick arm. Almost short arms it a little bit, but comes at you, jumps at you with a lot of arms and legs.
Amarista able to recover after bobbling it, but that took away the double play chance. And Smith safe on the fielder's choice. Rough inning for Amarista.
Yeah, you see the frustration with Alexi. Last year, the starting shortstop. This year, he's going to be asked to come off the bench and perform. And defensively, you have to be locked in. That's what Andy Green's going to ask these guys to be. Because I believe that's the toughest thing, coming off the bench and having to defend. The ball's going to find you.
Boy, doesn't it. And he's fighting for his job. You know, Jamal Weeks and Adam Rosales have had solid springs. They're versatile as well.
Well, it's not going to be given, and Andy Green has made that very clear that you're going to have to perform, you're going to have to earn your spot. And I think the key moving forward, and he understands this, it's you have to defend. This Padre team has to defend better. And if you do that, you can pitch and get pitching. You're always going to be in the game, so he's going to ask a lot. And it doesn't matter if you're an everyday player, or if you're a position player coming off the bench. See Adam Rosales being versatile, but going in there, getting your work done, and performing when you're asked to get in there and try to win a ball game.
Jake Cave walked his only at bat against Fernando Rodney, who loaded the bases with no one up and then pitched out of trouble, no run scoring. The Reds have left in the last 3 innings a total of 7 men on base.
Well, Dick, we had Eddie Rodriguez, the infield instructor, coach, whatever his role is, but how much work they're putting in the backfields, the half fields here in spring training. You're asked to come early to get your work in. And it's just like going in the batting cages and having a routine. You have to do that down here. And then when you get in that mode where you know what you have to do defensively, you have a routine that you implement into your game that's going to help you, whether you're a bench player or whether you're a guy that's playing every day.
Mark McGuire to the right of Green and Balsley to his left. 2-2. Runner goes. Defensive indifference.
And seen some interesting drills out there too. Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach, also helps with the infielders, and they're doing knee drills where they're just using their hands. They're getting their hands softer, and especially
knee on the ground, you mean?
Yes, both knees are on the ground, so you're hitting fungos and you can't use your lower body. Then when you get up, then you can.
Amarista will go across for the out, and the inning comes to an end. Padres coming up, bottom of the 8th with a 8-4 lead.
8-4, bottom of the 8th, and it's time. Opening series presented by Saquon Casino is just around the corner. April 4th through the 6th against the L.A. Dodgers. All fans will receive a jersey rally towel. Each day of the series will feature a different towel design based on the newly unveiled 2016 Padres jerseys. Get your tickets for opening series at Padres.com. Can't wait.
Yeah, they've incorporated that bright yellow into the home uniform, blues as piping, as part of the all-star logo colors.
Well, I'm looking forward to that series. You're going to see Clayton Kershaw most likely starting opening day. Dave Roberts is going to be managing the Dodgers, and they've gone through an injury bug. It's going to be an interesting series.
No Zach Greinke. He's going to be wearing the uniform of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And you talk about a team having a fantastic spring training. Arizona leads the major league 16-4.
Yeah, and there's so much talent on that club. Obviously, Greinke helps them. Patrick Corbin, who pitched at the end of the year last year, was the ace 2 years ago till he had Tommy John.
Jose Perella bats for the second time. Pedro Villarreal is on the mound for Cincinnati. He was on the shuttle between Louisville and Cincinnati last year, 5 different stints. Wound up 29 games in relief with the big club and was 1-3 with a 3.42 ERA. Product of Howard College in Big Spring, Texas. 2-1. Perella, Jankowski, and Nelson Ward for the Padres here in the 8th inning. Two and two. Hit well, but dying out there in right field for the first down. 5,754 here at Peoria. Padres averaging well over 6,000 for their home games. The popularity of Cactus League action, and of course now where the once was dominated teams in Florida, the Grapefruit League, now it's split 15-15. So you can see a lot of, in 1 week, you can, between day games, night games, you can pretty much see half of the major league clubs.
Yeah, these stadiums and the ones that house two clubs are great, but I think the organization's really got smart and realized that they're going to get more work done in Arizona. You ask the players that have done both, and I have done both, Florida spring training versus Arizona spring training, it's not even close.
Ripped by Jankowski, but foul.
The trips are longer in Florida.
Much longer. Here you can get to almost every site from your complex, and the Padres are the farthest away in the Northwest, in just an hour maybe and change.
Yeah, and it's the facilities out here are beautiful. If you've seen any of them here in Peoria, it's one of the older complexes, but it's had a facelift. It looks really nice. The fields are perfect. You get your work done. There's the pavilion out in left field here. Beautiful sight lines. You get the berm out in the outfield. That's the beauty of spring training that you see when fans get out there, lay a blanket down, watch the game.
$7 for the ticket tonight. Chop to the mound. Villarreal takes care of business. And there's two away. Brings up Nelson Ward, one of the minor leaguers getting a chance, went to the University of Georgia. Georgia native. He was at Clinton and Bakersfield last year. Hit .270 at Clinton and A-ball. Bakersfield .282. Was a Mariners 12th round selection a couple of years ago.
Oh, who doesn't like a Bulldog?
That's right. Georgia Bulldog. He was part of the deal with Joaquin Benoit going to the Mariners in the offseason. So the Padres lose their setup man in Benoit and Kimbrel their closer. So those are big shoes to fill.
They are, and a different direction for the bullpen. And I think if you're a guy comprising your roster, that is one of the needs that you have to have.
Ward with a ground ball and a 3-1 putout. Villarreal 3 up, 3 down in the 8th to the top of the 9th. Padres 4-run advantage.
Ultimate Drive.
There's 8 runs scored on 6 hits. A 2-run homer by Will Myers and a 3-run triple to catapult the Padres into the lead. Well, tomorrow we're right back with you here on Fox Sports San Diego, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we'll see the Texas Rangers, the champions of the American League West a year ago. Hope you'll join us 1 o'clock tomorrow with Mark Sweeney and Julie Alexandria, Dick Enberg. Thank you for being with us tonight. Padres bring on Carlos Villanueva with the St. Louis Cardinals last year. He was 4-3 with a 2.95 ERA and batting average .223 against.
While talking to people around baseball, Villanueva throws the kitchen sink at you. He knows how to pitch. Plus, adding and subtracting with all of his pitches. Fastball, curveball, slider, change. But he competes.
Padres at the start of spring considering him as the setup man, replacing Benoit. Tyler Holt making his second at bat after walking his last time in the 7th.
I heard Carlos talk earlier in camp about the impact that Padres closer Trevor Hoffman had, and they played together with the Milwaukee Brewers. Thought that was a huge influence because you never know when your paths are going to cross with a guy that's going to be a huge influence on you, and Trevor was that. Good to see him in a Padre uniform now, and he gets to learn from Trevor still.
Yeah, Trevor in uniform, part of the spring here, helping any pitcher that wanted to ask a question. 3-1 now. The leadoff hitter Holt. Come on back here. That hit the corner. 3-2. Career 49-53 record for Villanueva. Live arm. And the payoff. Out of play. So it's an interesting time as we come to the close of spring training. The Padres on Friday morning will fly to Mexico City and play the Houston Astros in the capital city there on Saturday and Sunday. Then they come back to the Peoria complex and eventually go to El Paso to play their AAA farm club, the Chihuahuas.
I'm excited to see that ballpark. Doing the game with Don Orsillo there in El Paso, and excited to see the fans and the passion that they have.
Got him swinging. One away in the 9th.
Well, I am, and you see the location of this pitch. The 3-1 fastball was right on that same plane, and then you see the nice slider on the outside part. But Eric Kratz, so much is talked about of Christian Bethancourt and what they're going to do with the catcher situation. Well, add this young man to the list as a backup catcher that knows how to call a game, frame pitches. You see the calmness behind there. Really sticks out because he knows what to do as a catcher, and it's very important to have that influence that you have as a backup catcher, known for really handling a staff.
Kratz is down 35. Distinguished career basically as a backup catcher. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Toronto, Kansas City, and back to Philadelphia last year in only 12 games with the Phils. And a base knock up the middle.
Well, just a little bit more on Kratz. If you understand what it takes to be a backup catcher, you have to have that mentality of handling the pitchers first. That's his reputation. And if you stand up to next to this guy, he's got pull power offensively, but number one priority is handling a staff. But this is a big man, a big target, and soft hands.
Taylor Sparks the batter. How about the minor leaguer Seth Mejia's Bream comes into the game and wraps a couple of singles in 2 trips. Struck out did Sparks. That was with the bases loaded against Fernando Rodney in the 7th. So the Padres completing our thoughts about this spring schedule. They go to Mexico City. Then on the Friday, April 1st, they're going to be in El Paso, and then they fly home and play the White Sox at Petco on the 2nd and 3rd, and then the Dodgers. I'm off a date there. They're in El Paso on the last day of March, and then home on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd against the White Sox. That's the fan fest
for both days, the 1st and the 2nd.
And then the off day Sunday before they open against the Dodgers on the 4th. Hope you're making your tickets plans for the. That is strike 3 as he barrels the fastball in there. A couple of strikeouts for Villanueva.
Yeah, the location of the pitch just looks like it cuts just a little bit. It's a late cut.
And down to their final out, Beamer Weems, the batter. No, it's not. It's Vincey. Zach Vincey with Weems moving on deck. Line drive, solid base hit to center. Vincey chases Mejias Green over to third, first and third. 2 outs. And now Beamer Weems.
Can't get rid of Beamer. You can't. Just got to hope to contain him.
It brings the tying run into the on-deck circle for the Reds here in the 9th inning. Runner from first. Vincey advances on the indifference. Weems is now 28 years of age. Signed a minor league contract with the Reds during the winter. He was an 8th round pick of the Padres in 2008. Never got to the big club. Last year, 2012, in the Padre organization at AAA Tucson. Off the corner, 1-1. Line drive to right, dying line drive, scores 1. And Jabari Blash with a terrific arm, and respecting that, taking no chances, but the Reds are still alive as Weems drives in their 5th run. It's 8-5, and the tying run comes to the plate for Cincinnati. Vincey holding at third. And Yoman Rodriguez, who has 2 hits, 2 infield hits, also a walk and scored a run. The lone starter left in the lineup. And suddenly it becomes very interesting for the Reds.
Well, now you're going to see some pitches that are outside and making him earn this. Don't want to get beat inside in situations that you can tie a ball game.
Rodriguez with 10 home runs at AAA Louisville last year.
See if he throws that cutter off of that.
Way inside as Weems moves up on indifference.
Well, I love this pitch going inside, especially that located pitch. How uncomfortable it is for the hitter. Trying to look outside and just jacking him up there so you have him aware. Now let's go to the breaking ball.
Blash has a play on the line drive, and the game is over. A little testy at the end, but the Padres prevail. And the first time this year they've won back-to-back games. San Diego 8, Cincinnati 5. Our final comments when we return.